Hi, welcome back to Conquer Crochet. My name is Karenx and this is the second video in our Basic Beginners How to Crochet course. If you watched our first video, you will now know how to do the chain stitch. Have you been practicing? Are you sure? Good. Then you're ready to move on. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to double crochet. Double what, say? Double crochet. Let's get started with our double crochet. Now if you've missed how to hold your hook, your yarn, slip knot and chain stitch, I'll put a link in the cards up here so you can go back, watch that video first, and then you'll be all up to date, and then come back to this video to watch the next step in our beginner series. So I'm going to take my tail and make my slip knot. I'm going to wrap the yarn around my fingers and I'm going to hold my tail as we're going to chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, move my fingers up the worked yarn, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So we have 10 chain. Now in order to do the double crochet we need to add one more chain. Now this chain is called our turning chain, and it is the chain that will give us height. So that chain will actually go vertical rather than horizontal like all the other chains. So it's going to give us our height. Therefore we need to do our double crochet in the second chain from the hook. So that one was 11, this one is 10. Okay, so it's 1, 2. I'm going to insert my hook, I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to pull back through that chain. I should now have 2 loops on my hook, yarn over again and pull back through those 2 loops on the hook. And there we have made our first double crochet. So we go into the next chain and make sure you only have one piece of yarn going over your hook, yarn over, pull back through that chain. You have your 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, remember you're twisting as you yarn over, pull back through 1, 2 loops on your hook. So we have 2 double crochets. Insert the yarn, yarn over, pull back, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. Notice I'm holding on to the pieces of crochet that I'm working with. So when I'm going into the chain to give this stability, rather than holding on here and struggling to get into the chain there, I'm holding on to the chains whilst I'm inserting the hook, yarn over, and then when I go to do my final part of the double crochet, I'm holding on to the worked crochet and the chains just to keep them steady. Insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through. 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through. Insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. Now American terms and British terms are slightly different. In American terminology this is called a single crochet, and in British terminology it is called a double crochet. So we insert into the loop, hook round the yarn, pull back through that chain, yarn over, round through the 2 loops. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. Now we come to our last chain. Now this can sometimes look a little messy because you've got the slip knot involved as well. So make sure you're going into that gap where you have the single piece of yarn, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2. And we'll just count our stitches to make sure we have them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's good, we haven't invented any extra stitches. I'm just going to give the tail a little tug just to tighten up that hole that's here. And there we have our first row of double crochet stitches. When we come to the end of the row and we want to make the second row, we need to do our chain stitch, our turning chain, which will give us the height for the next row. Then it's a turning chain, we have to turn our work. So we always work from right to left, unless you're a left-hander, in which case you're going to work from left to right. So we're going to go into this gap here underneath the last double crochet that we made, and this time we need to make sure we have 2 loops of yarn on top of our hook. They look like a V shape. We've got this V shape here for each of the stitches. So I've got 2 inserted there, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through. And there we've started our second row. Going into the next double crochet from the previous row, so making sure I've got 1, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, twist your hook to grab it, pull back through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through, and make sure you're not being too tight with your work. If you go in, yarn over, pull, and then really pull tight, you're going to end up with stitches that you're going to find very difficult to get into later, and also you're going to have uneven stitches. So you kind of need to just relax your shoulders, relax your fingers, make sure everything just flows nicely. So let's go into the next one. Insert, yarn over, pull back. Oops. Insert, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops, yarn over and through the 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. Into the hole underneath that double crochet there, yarn over, pull through the 2. Insert, yarn over, pull through. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, through the 2. Insert, whoops, yarn over, pull through. And now we come to the last one on this row. So if you have a careful look at your crochet now, you'll find you have this loop here around the end, and then you have your V there for your double crochet. So just very carefully go through 1, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2. And now we have our double crochet second row. What do we do at the end of the row? We do a turning chain, and then we turn. In some patterns they might just say chain 1, that is the turning chain. So we're going into this gap here, insert my yarn, make sure I've got my 2 loops over the top of my hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through those 2. Okay, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2. Insert into the gap, yarn over, pull through. Insert into the gap, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And you should have the yarn feeding through your fingers as you work. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. If you find that things are getting just too slack, take your hand away, wrap the yarn around your fingers again, and carry on. You may find if you're crocheting in the summer, or if you're crocheting with a fire on in the winter, your hands may start getting a little bit sweatier. Go and wash your hands, come back to it. Having clean hands is a good idea with crochet. That way then you're not adding any dirt to the yarn as you're crocheting, because obviously it's going through every finger. So if you do have any dirt on your fingers, that's going to pass over onto the yarn. Yarn over, pull through those two there. Insert, yarn over. Insert, yarn over. And we're going into the last one now. So again, we've got this loop round the side, which we don't crochet into. If you crochet into there, you'll start getting wobbly edges. We go into the last double crochet over 1, 2 pieces of yarn, yarn over, and through those 2 loops on your yarn. Now we're going to finish off. Okay, so you can keep going with this. If you wanted to make it into a scarf, I would maybe say crochet 20, then crochet an extra 1 for your turning chain. That would be quite a nice width for your scarf to be. And you can easily make scarves using double crochet. So when we're finishing off, we look as if we're doing a chain. So we yarn over and pull through the last stitch. Then we take our scissors and we cut. And then we pull the yarn from the ball of yarn, making sure we've still got a tail there. Pull on the tail just to tighten it up. And there we have our piece of double crochet. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss a single stitch on this course. Also, I'll put the link to my VIP list where you'll find a free PDF download for the start of your Conquer Crochet project file. And also there's a link to the Facebook community group. So if you're struggling with anything, come into the group and ask for some help. If I'm not there, I know there are a couple of expert crocheters who have joined our group who are patiently waiting for me to get onto some mastery stitches. And I'm sure they will help you if you are struggling. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy hooking!